those of you that have known me for a while will probably know that, in my opinion, the most important and popular authors of the 20th century are George Orwell, Aldous Huxley, Terry Nation, Douglas Adams, and of course the legendary Professor John Ronald Reuel Tolkien. Also C.S. Lewis. So it should be of no surprise to anyone that while I was enjoying a perfectly splendid Shabbat yesterday, this turd dropped out of thin air. It quite literally ruined my night and brought me to the point of drinking. I wanted to speak about it yesterday as it bombed out, but unfortunately I can't record on Shabbat. So let's dive into the article. Because oh boy, is this gonna be funny. Of course, I'm not logged in on this browser, but it's fine. We'll just skip the adverts. This originally came from the Hollywood Reporter, but I'm bringing it up through Screen Rant because they have fewer interruptions and they don't bog down my laptop as much. Lord of the Rings, the Rings, the Rings, the Rings of Power, Season 3 will begin production soon. The Prime Video fantasy show, and oh boy is it ever a fantasy of someone's, hashtag Haladriel, which is based on the extended works of J.R.R. Tolkien. It's a sweeping epic, which it is not, that explores the second age of Middle-earth and teleportation, thousands of years before Frodo's mission to destroy the One Ring. Although the upcoming Rings of Power Season 3 was not confirmed for some time, and we're going to speculate about why. After the release of Season 2 in 2024, it is part of a $1 billion 5-season commitment that made the sweeping epic the most expensive series of all time, which is not quite true. That's because they had to spend, I think it was $250 million just for the rights. That's not the production budget. Prime Video have now officially confirmed the Rings of Power Season 3 is renewed and announced that it is set to begin principal photography in spring 2025, which is great because that means we probably won't have to put up with it until 2027. And I might be dead by then. And therefore never have to watch this turd. Production will take place in the series' new home at UK's Shepperton Studios. Director Charlotte Brainstrom, who has previously helmed 7 episodes of the series, Sana Harmy, and Stefan Schwartz. Apparently a newcomer who has previously directed episodes of The Boys, My Lady Jane, The Americans, Fear the Walking Dead, White Collar, and Dexter, have boarded Season 3 and will direct multiple episodes. I have no idea who half of these people are or their credits at this point. As far as I'm concerned, most of the people that are brought onto this show have no talent whatsoever, just like J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay have never made a previous television show or anything of note. A statement from Amazon MGM Studios head of television Werner Sanders below. The Lord of the Rings, the Rings, the Rings, the Rings of Power continues to captivate audiences worldwide. There are probably maybe 20 people watching this show at this point, and we're thrilled that the 3rd season is underway. I'm sure you are, because it lines your pockets while it depletes money from Jeff Bezos. The creative team has an extraordinary vision of what's to come with the stories that have left us enchanted and enthralled. I'm not sure who's enchanted and enthralled with this show, but I digress. He says, we look forward to continuing this epic journey for our global customers, delving even deeper into the legendary tales that are complete fan fiction made up by J.D. Payne, Patrick McKay, and a series of hack, talentless shill writers. Oh, good. We have the best news of the article right here. The Lord of the Rings show could have a long hiatus. And I say the longer the better. Although production is... Whoopsie. We scroll too hard. Although production is kicking off relatively soon, it will likely be quite some time before the show is able to follow up on the Rings of Power Season 2 ending. Because the show's epic scope and visual effects needs, the production and post-production require extensive periods of time. And yet they still screw up the VFX and can't keep them consistent from season 1 to season 2. Meaning that season 3's premiere could be a way off. Below, see the precedent set by production timelines of the previous 2 series. Of course, we have basically a 1-year gap and a little over a 1-year gap, so most likely going to be 2026, probably June, I would guess. I really don't care about the problems with the COVID pandemic that affected all of the industry. Oh, here we go. It says likely that it will premiere in 2027, which, as far as I'm concerned, if it airs in 2047, I'll be happier. It's possible that the delay between the end of season 2 and production on season 3 could negatively impact the fantasy series, which has, by the way, lost 60% of its viewers since season 1, and lost a huge number of viewers after the first 2 episodes. This show fell off a cliff right from the beginning and never stopped falling. The Lord of the Rings of Power Season 2 had diminishing returns with a severe 60% drop in viewership, as I was just saying, according to Luminate. The impending long wait between seasons could potentially cause even more viewers to lose interest in the show, which I find to be splendidly funny. This show did everything that it could to be anti-Tolkienian. Nothing about this show is from the books. Nothing. They take elements from the books and warp them into twisted anti-Tolkien nonsense. And we went so far as to put Tom Bombadillo, or as I prefer to call him, Captain Wurzeldor, out in the middle of nowhere. Nothing in this show makes sense. And I hate it. There is nothing good about this program. It warps Tolkien's ideology from a devout Catholic into something almost satanic, if I were to go that far. And really, it has nothing to say about itself. All of it is fan fiction. It's not based on the books. It's not based on the source material or the lore. And it's just going to bleed viewership and bleed money from Amazon. In any case, that's really all I have to say about this at the present, other than I read that they are going to be fast-forwarding through the show, time-skipping ahead to the forging of the One Ring. I don't think it matters at this point. There's no sense of time or scale or scope in this show at all. Characters just randomly appear wherever they're needed. Time either moves glacially slow or is sped up to a point where events are happening all over the place. None of the things that are happening should be happening at the same time. The wizards don't even appear in Tolkien's work until the Third Age, and this is set in the Second Age. Numenor's fall does not coincide with the creation of the Rings of Power. It's much, much after that. After the defeat of Sauron, and he goes to Numenor as a prisoner, and he's basically time slowly corrupting the Numenorians until he gets Ar-Pharazôn to sail to the west, and we have the Alcalabeth. This is all trash, and I hope that it fails miserably. If you enjoyed this video, please consider pressing the like button. If you hated this video, go ahead and press the dislike button. Please comment and tell me what you think of the Rings of Power, and any thoughts you might have on how this show is going to go down in the future. Always share this video with anyone you think will enjoy it, and subscribe if you enjoy the channel. Thank you. May the Force be with you, and I will see you in the future.
Forward.